Hey, Algebra Kids, this is Dr. Callahan with week 18 Tuesday. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions on your warm-up log. Okay, so when I saw you guys yesterday, we talked about the first 10 questions on your study guide, which kind of looks like this. So this is going to be on week 17, Thursday, and it's a study guide for the entire class of Algebra 1. So then looking at this, we went over questions number 1 to 10, and then today we're going to go over questions number 11 to 15 on your study guide. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right in. Keep in mind your answers on the very bottom of week 17 Thursday. So the answer is shown here. We already gone over questions 1 to 10. So if you were not here to do that, make sure you watch the video for week 18 Monday. Today we're going to start off with question number 11. So looking at the question number 11, I notice I have a negative exponent, which I don't like having. So to change that to a positive, I need to flip essentially the denominator and the numerator and reverse it. So then that becomes a positive 2. Next, I'm going to distribute that positive 2 to everything inside the numerator and also the denominator. So then what that means is x 7 times 2 is x to the 14th, y 1 times 2 is 2, 0 times 2 is 0. Same thing over here. 2 to the third power is saying 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Negative 4 times 2 is x to the negative 8. 5 times 2 is y to the 10. 3 times 2 is z to the 6. You know that z to the 0 is just going to give you 1. I don't like having that negative 8 here, so I'm going to move it up, which gives me a positive 8. So if x to the 14 plus 8 is 22, y squared, z just becomes 1, so I don't even worry about it. Okay, so then as I look at this here, I notice that the 2 is smaller, so I bring down the 2. So I have x to the 22 over 8, 10 minus 2 is an 8, z to the 6. So then as you guys are looking for your answer, which one looks like this? Oh, you know what? I just totally messed up on something. I noticed that I forgot the 2 right here. 2 squared is going to give me a 4. 4 over 8 is going to give me a 1 over 2. Or no, I'm sorry. Hold on. No, that's correct. There's no 2 because I flipped it down over here. The problem that I see here, oh, you know what? I don't know why I put 8. It's actually 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Here we go. Okay, so then which one matches this answer right here? And it is this one right here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at question number 12. For number 12, here you have 3 to the negative or positive 2, because that times that is a positive 2, x to the 0. Okay, plus 2 to the negative 3, y to the 0, minus 5. This is kind of crazy. This entire thing to the 0 power is just 1. 1 times 3 is 3. X to the 0 power is just 1. So 3 times 3 is a 9. Plus here I have a negative 3. So I want to make sure I put that as 2 to the third. So that's 1 over 8. That becomes a 1 as well. Minus 5 times 3 is 15. 9 minus 15 is going to give me a negative 6 over 1. And if I make that into an 8, this then becomes 6 times 8, which is a 48, which then gives me a negative 47 over 8. So which one here shows me that's going to be a negative 47 over 8? Well, let's see. Negative 5 times 8 is 40. 40 plus 7 is going to be a negative 40 plus 7, which is going to be a negative 33 over 8. That's not it. So let's try this one. Negative 6 times 8 is a negative 48. Plus 7 is a negative 41 over 8. So unless there's a mistake we had, which this right here is 3 squared, that's 2 to the negative 3, which is going to be 2 times 2 is 4, 1/8. And then here that becomes a 1 times 3, so 3. So that becomes a 9, 1/8 minus 6 over 1, 8, 48, negative 48 over 8. No, we didn't make any mistakes here. This looks correct, but I don't know why the answers here are not accurate. But this is your answer. Number 14. Then we talked about product of binomials. So remember with this one, it's FOIL, first, R squared. Outer, positive 5R. Inner, negative 8R. And last, negative 40. So then remember, you can always add the outside and inside, which gives you a negative 3R. So then your answer in this situation is R squared minus 3R minus 40, which is D. All right, so number 15, you would have to extend this. A lot of people say it's B squared plus 49. And guess what? That is a big no-no. That is absolutely wrong. So you have to write it out like this. And then you do FOIL. So first, outer, inner, and last. So when you add this together, your total is B squared plus 14B plus 49. Okay, you guys, I'm going to actually stop right here. So now what I'm going to have you guys do is turn over to your guided notes for week 18, Tuesday. And it looks like this. Okay, let's take a look. A relation is a set of numbers with X and Y. Domains are the set of X numbers, and the range is going to be the set of Y's. A function is a relation with no repeating X values. And to check a graph as a function, we use the vertical line test. All right, so let's take a look at question number 1. For number 1, look at the x's. The domains are -1, 2, 5, and -1. The range are on the very bottom, 7, 3, 0, 2. Is it a function? Look at the x value. It is repeated, and in order to be a function, there has to be no repeating. So my answer is no. Take a look at question number 2. For question number 2, you have a series of points. This one is saying that x is at -3, 2. This one is -1, -1. This one is +1, -1. This one is 4, 0. And this one is -2, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your x values are your domains. And those answers are going to be -3, -2, -1, +1, and 4. Your range are the y values. So those numbers are going to be 3, -1, 0, -1, -5. Is it a function? Well, you only look at the x values. Do any of those numbers repeat? Nope. So yes, it's a function. I know you're like, well, what about this y value that repeats, like the -1? Well, we don't care about the y's. It's only the x's. Question number 3. Looking at this part here, you guys go ahead and try. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. With number 4, it's asking you, is this a function? You do the vertical line test. If I just draw lines here, guess what? They only touch this once. So yes, it's a function. Same thing with this one. If I draw a bunch of lines, it only touches this graph once. So yes. However, for number 6, if I draw a vertical line test, it touches it twice. So that's a no. And as far as for the domain, if you take a look at the domain over here, the domain is an x value, so it's between -1, 2, 3. So -3 to 1, 2, 3. But it's an open because of the open circle. For the range, it's saying how far up do you go? I go all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then how far below do you go? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now that I've done that one, I want you guys to give this a try right here. Okay, so then when I finished off with topic 2, which is on function notation. So here it says, what is f of x if f of -5 is equal to -5? So that means every time you see an x, you're going to replace that x with a -5. That's a +5 minus 7. So my answer is a -2. I'm going to go ahead and skip over to number 9 here. So f of -4 minus f of 9. So I'm going to find this one first. So I have f of -4 is equal to 2 times -4 squared minus -4. So that is going to give me 16 times 2, which is 32, plus 4, which is 36. Then you're going to look at f of 9, which is 2 times 9 squared minus 9. 81 times 2 is going to be 182 minus 9, which is 173. We're going to subtract these two numbers from each other. So you'll get 173 minus 36, which is a negative 137. And that is your answer. So now that I did the first two, I want you guys to try the second two. Okay, you guys, so at the very end of this, the next thing I want you guys to do is go to this link right here, which is going to be on your Quizlet. And once you get to that link, there are 45 flashcards. And I want you guys to make this into flashcards. So the first part of it, you put relations, set of ordered pairs. What is an ordered pair? X and Y coordinates. What is a coordinate plane? Plane formed by two perpendicular axes. So you don't have to do all 45 of them, but I want you to pick at least 10 questions that you don't know how to do, and then go ahead and make flashcards with them. All right, guys, as always, I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll continue this on with the study guides on Wednesday. Take care.